right, here we are. Hello.
We've got the mic synced up.
We've got the mic synced up. We're recording this as complex as possible on two separate computers.
In a big old mess of a room. There's
Yep.
trash everywhere. It's pretty
There's
good.
literally a trash bag just at our feet.
We're literally using a suitcase to stand this mic up on for me, so that's pretty good.
Yeah. Just talk into the mic. Because when you talk, like, when you look around, it kind of, like, does that kind of
So
thing.
if I look around, I gotta, like, kind of look around like
yeah,
this.
you kind of, like...
I can't turn my head. I just...
just kind of hover at the mic.
Just kind of hover over the mic.
Hover at the mic, bro.
Hovering over the mic.
Yeah,
I wish
but
there was
don't,
a camera on me.
Don't do that.
That's gonna be really hard because I can't breathe out of my nose.
You're a little.
I'm a little nasally right now.
A little nasally. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first episode of Mute That Phone.
Oh.
Rule number 1: mute that phone. That's not the name of the podcast. That's not the name of the podcast, everyone.
The name of the podcast is TurdsDay.
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 Coming at you every TurdsDay, except today, because today is TurdsDay.
Today is
like when we're recording this.
So does that mean we have to start recording on like Wednesdays or Tuesdays?
We'll probably need
like,
to do it like on Tuesday or Wednesdays, and then like have it set to upload on Thursdays.
We could do that, or do Tuesdays and then do like Wednesdays as like an edit day, and then post it.
Exactly, that would work.
That would work
because
really
we'll
well.
probably record it at night like this,
dude. And then if we get famous, we could record live.
When we're famous, we can go to live. We can put live shows up on YouTube, and then we can. We gotta hide our face for a while, so that way we can rake in the views on our face reveal.
Yeah, we could do that.
Jeff and Ben finally revealed it. We've
Like,
already done a lot of live action stuff.
Yeah, we've done a lot of stuff, so that's out the window.
Dang, dude. I was gonna.
Oops.
Did not think.
Not
that
unless
through.
we stay anonymous with the podcast. I mean, we don't have to post the podcast. We can make a completely separate thing.
Yeah, we just don't ever post the podcast on social media.
That my word.
We're never gonna. You guys don't even exist because there's no viewer base for this podcast.
This is just us being stupid in Jeff's room right now.
I mean, it's always that.
Yeah.
So basically, this podcast it's going to be like pretty much a normal podcast. Where
we talk about poo.
Well, we talk about poo to start off. Like we start every podcast with like a poop story. You know?
Yeah, that sounds about like the gist of it.
I've got a poop story for us.
I'm working on a poop story right now. No joke. I really do got to take a massive dump right now, dude. Not gonna lie, my stomach turned like 5 minutes ago, and I let out a squeaker like really quietly, man.
Okay, but that's a good thing to start with. This is the first official turd positive podcast, because you know what? It's a fact of life. Everyone poops.
I got real-time influence running on me right now.
Everyone poops, dude. So, like...
It's relatable to everybody.
Exactly. We're literally doing the most relatable podcast
except
possible.
Kim Jong-un.
Kim Jong-un doesn't poop.
Yeah, he doesn't poop. That. He has no butthole.
No. It was sewn shut when he was a toddler.
It's pretty rough.
He just blows up when he's, like... Next year...
Why do you think he's so
next
fat?
Next year, he's going to blow up. He's going to explode. That's actually the plan. They're gonna they're not shooting any nuke stores. They're just gonna send Kim Jong Un with poop full of poop.
That'll make the headline news.
That'll CNN will have a field day there.
Worst thing is Adam will probably have to report on it.
Our friend Adam's a reporter.
Imagine graduating with a 4-year degree to have to report on someone
Kim
blowing up
Jong-un
because they couldn't take a crap.
Okay, but yeah, this is the first turd positive podcast, and we encourage all other major podcasts to join us in being turd positive, because everyone poops, and you know what? That's a good thing. We should be celebrating pooping. You know, it's
everybody does it.
Everybody does it. It's not abnormal. It's okay to poop.
They do it in different ways, though.
They do. Some people squat.
I remember...
You ever taken a squat dump?
I have.
Like in the woods?
No, I have done it in the woods, but I've done it like in other places too.
You ever had someone who has like the squatty potty? That's like it looks like a stepping stool, but it's just like a squatty pot. Like it makes you squat while you take a dump.
Nah, dude. So a couple years ago.
Okay, first of all, the science behind squatting and dumping is
it's actually better for you.
It's supposed to be better for you because it straightens your your small intestine.
So it just you have a gravity working with you.
Exactly. I'm gonna adjust my mic. Did you hear that?
I did not hear that.
No, because I have a shock mountain. You don't, you pleb. All right, go ahead and tell your story.
So a couple years ago, probably like 2 or 3 years ago, I was getting on a boat going from Italy to Greece, and I had to use the bathroom. And I had to use the bathroom pretty bad. We're about to get on this boat. So I find the bathroom, I go in there, and there's no toilet. So you literally open the stall, and there's like the stall is the same like as they are here, where it's like, you know, like there'll be like the stalls where you can like see over and under the door. The same thing there. So it was super awkward. It's just like this like flat but down, and there's a spot to put your feet in a hole. So you stand on the feet pads, squat, take your dump, and then you go. But the problem with doing this was the stall door. You know how like stall doors, they'll be like about a foot off the ground?
Right.
You literally saw everyone doing their business from under the door when you walked in.
Did you also see their junk?
Dude, you saw like balls hanging and everything. It was not a good time. I was not ready for that.
That's tough, I gotta say.
But I mean, there's not much I could do. I had to do it too. So
I mean, yeah. So Pete, did anyone see your balls hanging?
I mean, I don't know, but it could have happened.
Yeah. But did you have handrails, like a place to hang on? Like I
not
feel like
really. And those foot pads have been used so many times.
because
They're
like this is
slippery
on
too.
a boat, right?
No. This is at the port before we got on the boat.
Okay.
I don't know. The boats are done completely different.
I was about to say if this was on a boat, you're gonna trip and then you're gonna get your foot in the little hole.
I actually do have a story about a boat, like taking a dump on a boat.
Well, save that for next week's podcast.
All right,
we gotta save our stories. Let's try and do one each. If we start running out of stories,
then we can pull one. We can pull one out, and then we'll start going from there. It seems pretty good.
But I'll go ahead and tell my story. This happened, I think, last month.
This is fairly recent.
My good buddy Mason. Great guy, beautiful little man. He's like the biggest guy we know. He's not a little man, but like I call people little man. I don't know why.
It's just fun to do sometimes.
It's fun. It's like, hey, little man.
It kind of it like gives him more like characteristics.
Exactly.
Like more charisma, maybe.
I like describing things in a weird way. We'll touch on that after the story. So basically, I had to take a dump. So I go in. Oh, okay. So before I have to take a dump, something catastrophic happens. I'm here. I'm at my school, my university, if you would. Just get out of class. I'm like, I gotta take a dump. As I often do.
Is this the one where you like missed class because you had to?
No, that's a different story.
Another story for another time.
We'll save that for the next podcast. Thank you for reminding me.
I got a story like that too. So.
All right. So basically, the power went out. I think it was like a truck ran into like a transformer here in town, in our very small town that we both go to separate colleges at.
Literally right across the street from each other.
Yeah. Yep. I'm sure just with that people can figure out where we're at, but
probably so. I mean, there's not very many places like that.
Yeah.
We haven't said the state. I mean, if we said the state, they'd for sure know.
Let's spell out the state. L-O-T.
There's no other states that start with L.
Okay. Okay. So the power goes out, and I gotta take a dump. So I'm like, I am going to turn my flashlight on, my phone on. We live in a technology age.
Got those shadows.
I got those shadows. Those shadows are scary. Can we cut that out?
Oh yeah, we can cut.
Hey Jeff, in the future, cut that out. And if you don't, you're gonna sorry.
You're gonna really regret it.
Yeah. Okay. We keep getting off topic.
All right, ready?
This is important.
And in the cut. All right, wait. When I clap, you'll do in the cut.
Okay.
And then go into the lights went out. All right, ready? 3, 2, 1.
Picture this. The lights are out. It's cold and dark. You just farted on my bed.
Dude, it was a wet one, too. Dude.
God, dude, that's nasty. And you threw off my train. Dude, we're never going to get through this story. The whole podcast is just going to be me trying to get through this freaking story.
It's going to be a pretty good podcast, though.
Right. You're right. You thought we were going to throw this one out.
This is what it's all about.
This is you're right. You're right.
This is a
you're
pretty good podcast.
All right, let me try. I'm going to look deeply into Ben's eyes while I tell this story.
I'm going to start saving up another wet one.
Picture this. It's cold and dark. The lights are out. It's mid-morning. No, wait. It's mid-afternoon. That smells so bad. It's mid-afternoon. You feel your bowels growl. Yeah, that. I really hope the mic picks that up, dude.
I really do too. Oh.
Your bowels are growling for release. You realize there's no escape. You have to go into the dark, dank bathroom. You turn your flashlight on your phone on full blast and brave the shadows. So I went into the bathroom. And lo and behold, as I go in, my friend Mason also goes in.
My stomach's bubbling.
So we go in together. We don't go into the same stall. We go in separate stalls. But I'm like, this is awkward. You have to fart?
I gotta fart so bad.
Oh my gosh. Fart that way. Not on my bed. Holy crap, dude. What is going on with you?
Dude, I told you I gotta take a dump.
It's because you've eaten 5 gallons of sugar today.
Dude, I had 5 cups of wassail. Dude.
You gotta take a wassail dump.
And I had whatever.
My roommate is gonna hate me.
Dude, I'm scared of this wassail dump, man. It's not gonna be pretty.
Do you have to dump now?
Dude, I really do gotta take a dump right now. I mean, not bad. I mean, I could.
Okay,
I can
hold it in. Hold it until the end of the story.
I can hold it until I can get home. But man, there's gonna be a poop story next week.
This is a poop story in the making.
Dude,
we did not expect this, guys.
Dude, it lingers. It's all those clothes that were in the.
That's awesome. All right. Okay. So Mason and I, we go in separate stalls, and I'm like, it's kind of awkward. This is kind of awkward because we both got our phone flashlights on.
Player 2 has joined the game.
Yeah, that's how it felt. I was like, man, if I don't talk.
Hey, bro, can you help me finish this level?
Don't say that. I was like, man, if I don't talk, he's going to hear me dumping. And it's possible that I will hear him dumping unless he has those shrouded turds, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could take a dump.
Like no
one will know. It's just like one long strand, and there's no plop.
Just pinch it off.
It's just like, yep. So unless he has that, or I have that, which I never do, unless both of us have that, there's gonna be some awkwardness. So how do you diffuse awkwardness? More awkwardness, but slightly less than there would be if it was just the two of us turning it out.
Makes sense.
With no dialogue. So I just start talking to him, and I get the feeling he doesn't want to talk to me.
I mean, that's reasonable.
It's fair.
I mean, it's fair.
I can't blame the guy. It's fair to not want to talk to the guy in the stall next to you, regardless of who it is. It's like trying to. It's like. Okay, I mean, tell me which is worse. Talking to the guy in the stall next to you, or talking to the guy in the urinal next to you. Because
urinal 100%.
I agree.
Because you can make eye contact.
First of all, you can see each other. Second of all, there's much less, especially I'm envisioning a urinal that actually has a wall, but a lot of urinals don't have walls.
It's just really awkward.
Which I think
even the ones that have walls, the walls aren't tall enough.
I think it should be a crime to not have a wall in your urinal. That's between true. Urinals.
How rich do you have to be to have a urinal in your house? That's the real question. I've never seen a urinal in someone's house.
You have to be full on bachelor for that,
dude. 100%,
dude. But that would be so nice.
That's the goal, dude. You know how much? Be
so nice.
You don't have to ever clean up any splash.
Yeah.
If you gotta go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, you don't have to worry about turning the light on. You can just go ahead.
Well, the thing is, I have good peripheral vision, so I gotta aim for a urinal.
I mean, you still gotta aim, but you gotta aim a lot less.
If there's a dude, well, otherwise you get splashback.
I mean, it's a lot easier to aim at the wall than
if there's a dude next to me and there's no wall, no wall, I don't want to see his pee-pee. I don't want to see that. You know, that's not something that I want to see, and I don't think they want me to see it either. And so I just feel sense. There's no reason not to have walls other than being cheap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, but suffice to say, I think I made the right call, and I also think Mason was right to be a little awkward about it because he didn't understand. I didn't set the ground rules. I wasn't hey man, I don't want to hear you dropping turds, and you don't want to hear me dropping turds. So let's just talk over it.
It's both dropping depth charges. Someone's gonna break the ice.
Yeah. And so I kind of made it a little intermittent to like at least cover up my turd drops. So it's like, man, it's kind of cool that we're both going. Like, I didn't actually say.
You just like start talking when one was about to fall. It's kind of like the story I heard about one time. Some guy said he was in class and he had to fart, but he had to fart pretty bad, but he didn't want to like alert the class. So he came up with this plan. He was going to drop his textbook on the ground. And when the textbook hit the ground, he was going to fart, and he'd be able to pick it up and no one would hear anything. But the way it worked out was he dropped his textbook, got everyone in the room's attention, and then farted. And so his plan completely backfired.
It feels like you got that from a tweet.
I think I did. Like I remember reading it somewhere. No one like told it to me, but I remember.
You said someone told that you. Are you fibbing? Were you straight fibbing, dude?
It's possible. I mean, I could be.
Ben, I really hate to break it to you, but we can't have fibbers on this podcast. So can you leave, please?
Am I out?
You're out.
I hold on.
All right. Well, Ben has left. He's no longer in the podcast. Let me just get situated here. I'm sorry to say that Ben's gone from the podcast. I
thought fibbing was a lie. We ain't fibbing on here.
You're right. All right. So anyway, you guys can get back to me. You can tell me if I made the right call or not, because I feel like I did. I feel like this was the right call. I feel like this was the right move to cover up the sounds. Because, like, yes, we're turd positive, but it doesn't mean you got to flaunt it, you know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, you could be body positive without stripping down naked, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, suffice to say, especially if you know someone, and you're taking the dump at the same time as them, maybe set some ground rules first, if you know you're going to dump together, and take it from there. I do
have one question. Was it the stalls right next to each other?
Yes, there were only 2 stalls there.
There were
only 2 stalls in the bathroom.
Because, I mean, if there is possible, you need to have that buffer zone. I mean, same thing with urinals. I mean, the only time you really, like, the urinal thing gets awkward.
Oh, for sure. Whenever
you're right next to each other.
Yeah, whenever I go...
There's, like, 3, and the person decides to take the middle one. There's an issue.
That is a cardinal sin. Whenever I go into a restroom that has, like 5 urinals or something like that.
I always go for the middle.
I always go for the one that no one's like next to.
Honestly, I always
hang on. And if you can't go for the one that no one is next to, go for the one that the least people are next to.
That's true.
And it's just like I'm always doing that math in my head.
It's just like common courtesy that's unspoken until now. Yeah. No one ever really says it. I've seen it in memes before, but no one ever really like brings it up.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of it is, for some people, I guess it's subconscious. For me, it's fully conscious. I'm constantly, when I am in that situation, I'm like, I don't want to see people's junk. I don't want them to see my junk. I don't want to hear them dropping some water.
Which kind of brings us back full circle, where we were talking about the thing earlier about like making conversation. Mm-hmm. It'd be really awkward to make conversation with someone is taking a pee right next to you at a urinal. Would it be more or less awkward to have a conversation with someone one urinal over?
Definitely less.
Definitely less
awkward. The farther away, when you have your penis
but you're going out of the way to like talk to this person. That's two urinals away, really, or like one urinal over.
Here's my theory about urinal courtesy when it comes to speaking at the urinal. When your penis is out and their penis is out, the farther away you are, those penises are from each other, the less awkward it is to talk to that person.
So is that the same for taking a dump, or do those rules not apply? Because I mean, you were right next to him when you were talking, so I could see why he would be like uncomfortable.
For stalls, it's different because first of all, if you're
you can literally see their feet.
If you're closer to someone, you can hear them better because stalls have like those full walls. And that's another thing. The stalls have full walls. You can't see each other. You can only see each other's feet if your feet are like wide enough. And so it's like, yes, there is that like you're not like quite separated from each other, but I feel like you're separated enough. Like, especially if you know each other, you can carry a conversation. However, if you do not know the person in the stall next to you, unless like they drop their phone and they haven't noticed or something like that happens, if you talk to them, you're the bad guy. You are wrong in that situation.
So, if talking in a stall is okay, what about talking on the phone?
So
is that forbidden?
Are we talking urinal or stall?
Either one, honestly. I mean, I think the urinal would be a little bit better than a stall.
Yeah, because urinal's quicker.
Urinal's quicker. And
stall, no.
Most urinals flush themselves. You can back away from a urinal fast enough so they won't hear the flush.
I always flush urinals with my foot. If it's like the lever.
The bar?
Yeah.
I usually go for the elbow, and I'll wash my hands with my elbow.
Here's my thing. Yes, I get it. You like spread germs with the stuff that most people are touching. But like if you do that and you're like, okay, I just used my foot or that kind of thing, do you have to wash your hands? Because you never touched anything in the thing. Can you just
touch the door when you came in and there's a
What if it's a push door and you just like push it with your foot?
I don't know. I mean, it's still.
And then to get out, here's the caveat. To get out, you use the motion sensor paper towel, grab it, pull it with the handle, throw your
I mean, you were still holding your junk.
But that's the thing. There's not a lot of germs there. There's not a lot of bad germs there.
But you were still holding your junk.
That's true.
I mean, okay.
But here's the thing.
There might not be a lot of germs there, but if you touch something, all right. So if I was like, hey,
you're right.
My junk germs are on that. You wouldn't want to touch it.
That's
even
true.
if the germs aren't that bad, you're not going to
Especially if you're going to shake someone's hand or something.
Oh,
that's
yeah,
nasty.
100%.
You're right.
Always wash your hands.
I was playing devil's advocate for that.
But
I've got to admit that to you. Let me just say, guys, wash your hands when you use the restroom.
Always wash your hands.
Always wash your hands when you use the restroom.
Soap.
You know, Germex probably won't even do the trick. You know, wash your hands. You got to get the germs away. And if you're unsure of how long to wash your hands, basically, once you wet your hands down, get the soap on it, lather your hands, and in your head, or out loud, I guess, sing happy birthday. Because, like, that's how I was taught. Like, all right, sing happy birthday, and then once you're done, rinse your hands off, and you're good. That's an adequate amount of time.
But here's, okay.
You're tapping that, and I can hear it in the mic.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Happy.
He's tapping tape, like a roll of tape, of industrial tape against the bed and the table that the mic is on. Sorry that this guy is so bad at podcasting. I'm really sorry about that, guys.
Is it really that bad?
It was egregious.
Just the tapping?
Everyone's going to hate it.
Oh, that's nice.
Everyone's going to hate you. I'm going to be the favorite host of the podcast.
Nice. So, okay, cycling back into the conversation.
Yeah.
Say you get up at 3 o'clock in the morning. You're still tired. You're ready to go back to bed, but you got to pee really bad. So you eventually, like 30 minutes later, because let's be real, you're going to sit in the bed for a while trying to hold it.
Like
you get up and you go pee. Do you wash your hands or do you just go right back to bed?
I think if you're single, you know, you're not sharing a bed with anyone, you know, it's okay to not wash your hands in that instance. Because, for me anyway, if I'm just going back to bed, that's fine.
But I mean, what if you sleep naked? I mean, how much worse could it be?
Exactly. Like, if you're already touching your junk, like your junk is touching everything anyway. Like, my thing is, like, I sleep in my boxers. Everything's already touched everything. Except for, like, my junk and my butt, you know?
Your butt has been in those sheets, and those sheets have been in your butt. I mean,
exactly.
That's that point.
Like, I shove my sheets. No, that's not.
You shoved your sheets
true.
in your butt?
Yeah, that's what I like to officially say for the record. No, I don't do that. I'm just saying, like, your bed is already kind of a breeding ground for bacteria.
That's kind of nasty. I need to wash my sheets.
I need to wash my sheets, honestly.
Yeah,
he's sitting on my sheets right now.
Dude, I see crumbs in here.
Oh, I eat in my bed all the time.
Dude, just from where I'm at in here, I can see, like, 2 Gatorade bottles, a lot of medicine, some cups, and a big old bag of sunflower seeds.
No, that's David's original jumbo sunflower seeds. Excuse you, sir.
Bad. Pardon me.
Yes, I eat in bed a lot. I'm a culprit of that. But anyway, back to your...
also culprit of allergy medicine. Zyrtec. Whatever.
That's not. I don't even use that much. That's not my preferred brand. So back to the matter at hand. Yes, it's okay to not wash your hands in that instance, especially if you feel like it's early enough that if you did wash your hands, you would wake your roommate, possibly.
Yeah, I mean, I could see that, but I mean,
I'm big on roommate courtesy. Like I'll go out of my way to.
But you just flushed the toilet. How loud could the sink be?
I
Do
feel
you flush
like
the toilet? Because I mean, I think
of course
that's.
I flush the toilet.
I feel like that's
no.
even worse.
That's
like,
straight up.
roommate.
You always flush the toilets. First of all, second of all, I think at a certain point, you grow immune to waking up at toilet flushes. You know,
but the same could be said about the sink. I mean, I don't ever have any memory of waking up to someone washing
well, you might
their
be a
hands.
heavy sleeper. I'm a very light sleeper. I've never woken
That's
up to
true.
a toilet flush, but I've woken up to like the shower running or just water running in general many times.
Now, that's true. Now, it is sometimes that's nice. If it's raining outside, waking up to like a storm,
but that's different.
like a straight up hurricane outside. Oh,
dude,
I love it.
Dude, rain will put me to sleep like that.
Dude, I love it when it's raining. Rainy days are the best, especially when it's time to take a nap.
Oh yeah.
Dude, I open the windows, go for it. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, I'm not open the windows, but like open the
He opens the
curtains and
windows.
the
He
blinds.
opens his moonroof. He lets the water bathe him.
I let it in.
He is a swimmer after all. He loves the water to absorb through his skin.
I was raised in a bathtub.
What color is your urine?
It's usually clear.
Really?
It really is.
You drink a lot of like sugary, unhealthy stuff.
But to counteract that, I also drink about a gallon of water a day.
It's true.
So it usually flushes out pretty quick.
That's good. Are you a hydro homie?
I'm a hydro homie.
But yet you still violate your body with the sugary drinks and such.
But also take care of it too. I balance. It's all about balance.
Yeah. I
mean,
would somewhat agree with
sugary drinks. What do you mean by like
Coke, like soda pop?
I don't really drink a lot of Cokes. I might maybe sometimes one a day, but honestly, I don't really drink a lot of Cokes. Now tonight was different. I had a lot of Wassail.
You've had 5
which
cups
is like,
of Wassail.
Yeah. So that's like extremely above average. Though.
I feel like that's gonna erode your bowels.
Like my bowels already eroded, but that's more than usual. Today was well above average. Yeah. Average would be about like 1 Coke a day. The rest is usually water.
Okay, that's fair.
And even then, most of the time, it's not even a Coke.
That's fair. My urine fluctuates based on how much I've stress eat. And how good I've been about taking care of my body and hydrating, really. Because like I'll go through phases where it's like, okay, hydration is so important. It is key to me right now. And then phases where it's like, yeah, I'll just have a Coke Zero, that kind of thing.
No, I don't think I could handle a Coke Zero every day. I got to get a Dr. Pepper. I can usually go a good little bit without like getting a Coke, like a week or two. But after that, when I get to that 3rd or 4th week, I'm like, I really need a Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, that's tough.
Also, hear your roommate in the bathroom. He closed the door really quietly.
He did. That's very courteous. Hey, talk about roommates being courteous.
Courteous? No, that was pretty loud.
Okay, but that's still, he doesn't know we're
Is he
recording
being
a
courteous?
podcast.
Well, what if he does? Maybe he's just like listening in.
He can listen in when I post the podcast.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to our ASMR podcast. This is a fart. This is also a fart.
I'd like for the record to state that was actually his mouth. We're fibbing out here.
Yeah, that was also actually Ben's mouth, surprisingly enough. That was the first
mouth.
Fake fart he's done,
That was
though.
the first fake part of the day.
That one was straight real, y'all.
That one was real. You got another thing coming, son.
Also, this first podcast is just recorded in my room. We're going to try and record the rest in Ben's closet. Because it'll be
sound
nice.
a lot better.
It'll sound a lot better.
I need to make sure there's outlets in my closet, though. Just in case we need to plug anything up.
Yeah.
Even if we don't, we can run stuff under the door.
Yeah. We'll probably need to record on your computer and my computer.
On my computer?
Yeah.
We can try.
My
computer.
Audacity takes so little to run. It'll be fine.
My computer is like super stupid old.
It's fine.
So if we can run it.
You know what else is super stupid old?
What?
Your mother.
My mother's like 42.
Okay, to Ben's mom, if you're listening in, I didn't mean that.
My mother will never hear this podcast.
I was just doing it for the lulz. I want to apologize just in case. Okay.
I mean, go for it. But if she, I'd be very disappointed if she found this.
I'm sure you're a lovely woman. I didn't mean it. I was doing it to just for the lulz. You know.
She doesn't know what lulz means.
It was for the laugh out louds.
You gotta spell things out for these Facebook people.
Yeah, LAUGHOUTLOUDS.
Yep.
So, have you seen any good Facebook Minions memes recently?
I haven't seen any of those. I've seen a lot of like boomer memes, but like it's like we've gone from like the okay boomer phase to like the like satirical, if that makes sense. Like it'll make it look like it's supposed to be. They'll make it look like it's a typical Minion meme, but you can obviously tell it was made by someone like actually trying to make a meme.
I'm thinking of a particular boomer comic. Let me find it for you. It's this one. It's this father who's reading a fairy tale to his child.
I don't know why I thought about this, but do you remember like a couple years ago, Republicans, I think Obama was still president. It was when Republicans didn't have Congress or anything. They were trying to pass some law, and they couldn't pass it as long as people were talking or something like that. So Ted Cruz literally got up there for several hours, and at one point he
read Green Eggs and Ham.
He's like,
it was the Affordable Care Act.
Yeah, and he was like, let me take this time to read my girls a bedtime story since I'm not home. And he read them Green Eggs and Ham. American politics.
Sorry, I'm really trying to find. Oh, I found it. I found it. Nice. I might, if this is in a video format and we're posting this on YouTube, I'll post it.
You'll post it? That'll be nice.
I'll describe it. I'll describe a comic because it's very.
Is this like one of those ones where it's like super dry?
I guess. I don't know what that means.
Like the one that we saw the other day where it was like, I keep looking at this trying to swipe, but it doesn't swipe, and there's like some kid looking at a picture, and it's like,
yes.
It tries to appeal like to like the old people, but it's like super stupid.
Oh yeah, my grandson likes Pokemon. Okay, so it's a father reading a bedtime story to his child, and the father says, Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water, and the kid says, to fetch a crummy pail of water, they should have been catching Pokemon creatures.
That's so stupid.
And on the chair is a T-shirt that says, I heart Pokemon Go. I don't know why it's on a chair. It looks really dumb. It's just...
Honestly, though, Pokemon Go is still a slap.
You think so?
I really do think so.
I stopped after like the first 3 months or so.
I did too. It got really boring, but now there's so much stuff in it. It's actually fun. Like there's actually a community for it.
Do you remember?
I was always told it was dead. I was like, oh no, this game's dead. No one plays this. Right. There's a lot of people still play that game.
Mm-hmm. Do you remember when Hillary Clinton was running for president?
I do remember that.
And she said, and I think
just
this is
chilling in Cedar Rapids.
I think this is the exact quote. I might have the exact quote down. I don't know who invented Pokemon Go. But we need to figure out a way for them to go to Pokemon go to the polls.
To Pokemon go to the polls.
It's just like the most out of touch.
That was like 2016.
That was 2016, yeah.
I'm pretty sure,
That's when the election was, yes.
Yeah, because it was during the election. It was
that's common knowledge.
It's like summer of like 2016 because it was like
that was when she was that's when she was running.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's just making sure that's the election we were going for. Cause she's running in a lot of elections.
She's not running in this election.
She's not, but
she finally realized, oh wait, no one's gonna vote for me because I'm an old, out of touch white lady.
She got what's her name in there? Her best friend Elizabeth Warren.
I thought you were gonna say Bob Saget.
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget, her best friend. I don't know why I said Bob Saget.
No one ever thinks about Bob Saget until they say Bob Saget.
That's
honestly.
true.
It
They
just
can't
comes
stop
out of your
thinking
mouth.
about Bob Saget.
Dude, it just comes out of your mouth.
Bob Saget was on the H3 podcast.
I did see that.
That was so interesting.
I remember that it was the first like 20 minutes of it was cringe because everyone watches it and they think he's like, they remember like the Full House Bob Saget.
Yeah.
They don't know he can say some like really messed up stuff. So
he's a comedian. He's a stand-up.
Yeah.
comedian.
So it's like people that like go in not knowing that he does that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we're about to see this wholesome dad from this favorite
from Full
show
House.
that we used
and then
to
it's
watch.
like, oh wait.
And then he goes in
yikes.
saying these like crazy jokes.
Yeah.
Like I remember, what's her name on the H3 podcast? Hila
Hila?
looks like super uncomfortable. I mean, she
Yeah.
looks uncomfortable all the time.
That's so accurate.
But she looked like particularly uncomfortable.
Hey guys, if you want a better podcast than this, it's more entertaining. Go check out the H3 podcast. They don't talk about turds nearly as much as we do, though. So that's a downside. But everything else is upsides. They got better mics. They got video.
They got
you
more
can
money.
Actually see them. They do have more money. They're actually making money.
The goal is to get on that podcast.
That's the goal. That's the dream.
That's the dream.
Yep. We're doing pretty good. We're almost 40 minutes in.
We're doing pretty good.
And the only part that I really want to cut out is that one part.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
do you want to do like 45 minutes?
You just really want to go poop, don't you?
I really got to take a dump, dude.
We're going for an hour.
Are we really?
We're going for an hour.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
We got to go for an hour and 5.
An hour and 5.
That
an
way
hour and 3.
Hour and 3. That should give us time.
Or
to cut
an
it
hour
down.
and 2. An
That
hour
should
and 2.
give us
Because
time
it was
to cut
about.
it
It was
out.
about like.
Yeah.
It wasn't but like 30 seconds.
You're right.
It's pretty good. I mean,
That
it's
should
all right.
work.
It's about an hour and 2.
So, how about those Cowboys?
How about them Tigers? Yeah.
What are you talking about?
LSU's number 1 in the league right now.
I don't care at all about football, so this is not a good topic.
Why'd you go in with the Cowboys?
Because that's just like what you do. Okay, let's talk about a celebrity. Let's talk about celebrity news. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Celebrity News Hour. You remember when BuzzFeed released a list, and it was like, this is what Disney princesses' poop would look like.
I think I do remember something vaguely about that.
I swear, my hand to God, I am not making this up.
That's Adam's dream right there.
That's Adam's dream. Our friend's dream.
I like how I've met Adam once, but like we still make
the only
jokes.
thing you know about him is that he's a reporter.
I know he's a reporter and he's really tall. It's about
He's
all I
very
know.
tall.
That he likes IHOP.
Yes.
He's
Well, he was the OG Waffle House bro.
All right, quick fart pause. All right, I farted right on your head.
Okay. Thanks for pausing for that fart. But anyway, yeah. So they reported
I'm
on
not
this.
gonna lie, that one hurt a little bit.
Like, what happened to BuzzFeed? No one's talking about it. There was a phase. Okay,
But
there was a phase
like everywhere, and now it's like every now and then you see
Here's
something.
the thing.
It's not as
There is a
common.
phase where everyone was talking about BuzzFeed because they were just posting the most stupid, like, clickbait stuff. Like, stuff to get people mad. I'm pretty sure their strategy back then was just make stuff that's so out there and ridiculous that people talk about it.
Because a lot of it like surfaced on Facebook, so you had like all those like Facebook moms and like conservative Republicans that are like, look how stupid this is.
Yeah, like
that would just bring it more attention. It was like
it
was like
video?
the Onion or Babylon Bee.
Well, it's not. It was just
But
that
like, it wasn't
IRL.
like
They actually legitimately reported on that.
it was a time like it was a lot last year really.
Yeah,
like last year was like the peak.
last year and then 2 years ago, I think. Well,
I
the
think
thing
it's
is,
like 2
like,
years ago.
I'm serious. I think the strategy was just like get people to talk about our stuff so we get more views, more clicks, more impressions.
Remember one there was like it was like here's what branch of the military these Disney princesses would serve in.
I know, right?
And it was like super stupid.
Yeah, like everything they did was stupid. And remember when they were on the feminism crusade? Like, okay, guys.
Particularly 2017. I feel like 2017 was a big year.
I think you're right. Feminism, I totally agree. Equality for women, perfect. Yeah, that's fantastic. Close the wage gap, yes, absolutely. But some people just take things too far. This happens in every group. This happens in every fandom, every political group, every political movement. People take things too far. There are some feminists that take things too far. And BuzzFeed loved to report on it.
It's true.
But that painted feminism in a bad light because it's like people who didn't agree with feminism could like point and say, "Look how dumb this is," and no one could disagree because it's like, yeah, this is stupid. Like, if you're just taking up seats in the subway, do you remember that manspreading video?
I do remember
where it was
the
like
video.
women manspread for 3 days or whatever, and it's like I feel dirty when I'm doing it, and she's not even like sitting like with her legs spread. She's literally like taking up seats, like 3 seats with her legs like laying down.
I mean, like, I'm manspreading right now, but I mean, it's barely taking up like a good like 6 inches past.
And they were like trying to figure out why are they manspreading? It's like it's because our balls get sweaty. Literally,
no
like,
one likes that.
And if you're sitting like this too long and in the wrong position, your balls get like squished, like it hurts.
Which
it hurts a lot.
It seems like 2017 was like a big year for like articles and stuff like that, and like videos, and then they started losing ground. So like, you know what? We need to make quizzes. So it was like last year was like nothing but quizzes.
It was the year of the quizzes.
It was the year of the quizzes.
Let's face it. Now, what do you think? Because we're fast approaching December now. What do you think 2020 holds for BuzzFeed?
I don't know. I mean, had someone told me they were going to be doing quizzes, I would have no idea. But I mean, you never know what people are going to do. I mean, Disney just came out with like a streaming service, which is wild.
Disney Plus. Yeah.
So I still don't have it. I've heard it's pretty good.
I'm waiting for a family member to have it so I can mooch off
of it. That's the way
That's
to go.
literally it. I can't afford it right now.
But there has been one good thing that has come out of BuzzFeed, though.
What's that?
They do have this series on YouTube with like videos they do where they go around looking for these urban legends, and they said they would not stop until they actually found one. So they just go around, and it's pretty funny. My favorite video is the video with Goat Man. It's pretty funny. Look it up. It's pretty good.
I'm a fan of urban legends. I enjoy them.
Like,
do you remember? Did you watch Animal Planet growing up?
I did watch Animal Planet growing up.
There was a phase, and it was like around the time Ghost Adventures started getting really big. First of all, Ghost Adventures on the Travel Channel.
Early 2010s?
Like early 2010s.
Like Lost Tapes?
Like Lost Tapes.
I remember that show.
I have all seasons of Lost Tapes.
Dude, that show was... I remember watching that show. Like, there were several episodes where I would record it, and I was like a 12...
Oh, yeah.
Younger than 12 years old.
Yeah.
I'd watch it, and some of them were like, all right. Some of them would scare the crap out of me. Like
did you ever
fear.
see the Megaconda episode?
The one where they're like in Mexico? And
No. That's the Chupacabra one. That one's straight
dead ass, like 100%. I swear I saw Chupacabra.
Really?
I swear I saw one.
Dude. That's a story for another podcast. Actually, no.
That's we're getting into
right
that.
now.
That's a story for
but
right
first,
now.
First, we're going to talk about Lost Tapes a little more.
All right.
Did you ever watch the big snake one?
Was it the one where it's like in the warehouse?
Yes.
Yeah.
That scared the absolute
that one
poop out of me.
I saw it, but it didn't scare me that bad. There was one though.
And then the Chupacabra
really
one.
Me.
Which one was it?
The one that scared me was the one where it was like this like vampire thing living in the attic.
Whoa.
And it was like it would like come out. And so like I remember there was this one scene where the kid is like they had cameras in the house and like this kid is sleeping and this thing comes out of his closet and is like creeping toward his bed.
Holy crap.
And he wakes up and starts screaming and it runs back in the closet and his parents run in. They're like, what is it? And he starts trying to tell them what happened. They hear something run across the scene. They're like, oh, it's a raccoon. That scared the hell out of me as a kid. Mm-hmm. Like I was like 10 and I was messed up.
Let's face your fear. Let's watch Lost Tapes. I have them.
We need to find that episode. That episode probably will still scare me a little bit just like the nostalgia of it.
Mm-hmm. The one that really got me though, I just remembered it, was the Jersey Devil episode. Do you remember that? It was like the family. They went on a road trip
I do remember that because I remember seeing it was daylight in this video, but I do remember seeing it like I'd have this like one frame image of just seeing it like this door frame.
Yeah. Okay. Let me describe this Lost Tapes episode. Why are you looking at the door? Are you creeping me out?
No, I'm trying to breathe.
Are you like a cat? You saw a paranormal entity in there?
No, when I talk on the mic, I have to hold my breath, so I have to breathe off mic so I don't like make a lot
You're
of
like
noise.
TurdsDay and Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate Rain.
Chocolate Rain.
Some may die while others feel the pain.
Chocolate Rain.
A baby born will never see again. I remember seeing that. I remember seeing that video, like in my grandparents' family computer. My cousin showed it to me. I was like, "Wow, video on technology."
I had watched it kind of like after it had come and gone.
Yeah,
but I mean, it was still. I mean, it was still pretty recent, but it had already come and gone. But all right, back to the lost tapes thing.
Then we'll talk about the first YouTube videos we ever saw.
Oh, geez.
Because I got stories here. Okay, but anyway, lost tapes. Jersey Devil, terrifying. First of all. So this family, they went to the beach in New Jersey, and so they're driving back home through the Pine Barrens, which is, fun fact, I think the largest stretch of woods that is untouched by people, except for like roads. I want to say that's true.
I thought it'd be like near, like the Rocky Mountains. Or
You'd think it would be, but like we're talking woods, not like
just
mountain
straight
area.
Up woods, like Appalachian.
Yeah, I think so. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, people, but I think that's true. I remember a lore podcast episode about the Jersey Devil that mentioned that. But anyway, fat stretch of the woods is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So their car like stops or something, and then like their dog runs away. First of all, hitting home for me because I've always grown up with dogs. So the dad runs off to like look for the dog. So he's gone for a while, and then the girl, the mom, and like two young girls, the daughters, go off to find the dad, and they find like I think hoof prints, and then they like hear noises, and then they hide out in a cabin, like an abandoned cabin.
I remember the cabin, like the cabin. But it wasn't like a log cabin. It was like a metal, like
it was like an abandoned house, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
and then they hide in the closet, and like through the slits in
the closet,
you can hear, you can see like the hoofs.
This, like, hoof just walking.
That scared the crap out of me.
Dude, you remember? I remember one that was really scary.
Okay, but let me finish. It also sparked a avid interest in folklore. And when the podcast Lore by Aaron Mahnke came out, I listened to that podcast religiously, which got me into podcasts. Fun fact.
Interesting.
It was amazing. And so because of that podcast, I got to learn all about the Jersey Devil, which you can too. If you go check out Lore, it's a really good podcast. So, all right, tell me what another episode.
Another one, it didn't get me as bad as like the vampire thing. Another one that got me was the Dover Demon.
I think I remember that.
Where they're like out in the woods. She has a camera and she's like, "Hold on, I think I can like switch this to like infrared," and like she switches the button that like turns her to like regular camera. So like, because all you saw was like dark, changes it and you see it in the tree, and it's like super weird. But
I don't recall that one. I remember like the.
I'm pretty sure that it was part of Lost Tapes. I remember like the very first episodes they had were really good. I remember watching the very first one was the Monterey, the one at the sea creature in Monterey Bay.
Yes,
that was the very first one that came out. I remember watching it like the very first episode, like first run.
Yeah.
And
how did we get away with watching that?
Because I don't know. Like, my parents did not know I was watching that.
My parents definitely did not know. But I also watched Ghost Adventures. I watched all of this at my grandma's. Because I could get away with a lot more.
I watched a few episodes of Ghost Adventures. I never really watched it, but Lost Tapes, I watched every episode of it. But toward the end, some of them kind of sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, there was one where it was like some like weird like snake that lived in like the pyramids in Mexico. It was like weird. It was super stupid.
Ghost Adventures is still running, and it's not great. So the thing that's fun about Ghost Adventures is Zach Baggins, the like main host, is such like a hack, not a hack, but like a and I don't want to say like fraud,
phony, but like kind of like he tries to play it up bigger than it is.
Yeah, exactly. He's not exactly like a liar or phony or anything like that. Although I'm sure like most of the stuff is fake, if not all of it. But he's so entertaining. Like you can say whatever you want about him, but he is so entertaining that it makes me want to watch more. He's a good host. He's a very good host. And so, like, I mean, like, with him, that's the only reason that, like, that's the thing that drives the show. Like, I went back and watched, like, the first season, and it was like, okay, I can see why I like this.
You can get behind it.
So, it's entertaining. And I don't think any of it's real from Ghost Adventures. I don't know if ghosts exist. I doubt it.
But
because there's been no proof so far.
While
like,
we're
that's
still
definitive?
thinking about like what's real and what isn't real, I'm gonna go back for something that I really do honestly think is
Mhm.
real, and that's the chupacabra.
Mhm.
Because we didn't get in that story.
Go ahead and tell your chupacabra story, bro.
So I was probably about 13 or 14, where I was at. I'm not as much into it now, but I used to like love the woods.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would have like I have a pellet gun, and there was some woods behind my house. It wasn't a big patch of woods, but it was a decent patch of woods. There was a small like stream, like creek thing that ran back there. Not very big. Like the water, it was literally like 3 inches deep, and just went through the woods. That was about it. But I would follow it all throughout the woods. Well, there was this pond out there. Like it was actually our neighbor's pond. I would walk through the woods for about 10, 15 minutes and come up to this fence. I'd cross the fence, and there was a pond, and the neighbors knew I would go back there. I'd double check to get permission. It was the pond, and then it was like they would bush hog it like once a year. So it was probably about 6 months after they had bush hogged it. So there was like bushes and tall grass was coming up. There was one patch where it was like this patch of like small trees and like berry bushes. So I'm walking around that patch, and I turn the corner, and I look, and there's this like weird looking like skinny naked dog looking thing just staring at me like 20 yards away, just like he's side view, like I can see his whole side, but he's just looking at me. And then it just runs away, but it runs away in the direction of where home is.
Ooh.
So I didn't know like which way to go. I either go this way, which is like completely foreign place to me, like I'd never been there before, and it's like people's backyards, like well in the complete opposite direction.
Mm-hmm.
Or I follow this thing toward my house. And it was super. I remember I was pretty startled, but I mean,
How old were you?
like 14.
Okay.
Like it wasn't like I wasn't a young kid. Like I mean I was still young, but I mean I was
Yeah.
like 14 enough to know like something, like it was weird. I mean, if it was a dog, which I mean it very well could have been, but if it was a dog, it's a very unhealthy dog.
Yeah.
Because I remember like, because people have seen like posted pictures of it. It's honestly, I want to say someone like found a dead one, and they went and got it tested, and it's like some weird cross between like a wolf and a coyote, and it just like
I'm
breaks
looking
into
it up.
chicken
Keep
pins.
talking.
But it just looks like a really weird like skinny naked dog. But then like the next day, I want to say I heard some like rustling in the woods.
Did it look like this?
That is exactly what it looked like.
Oh, bro.
But it didn't show any like hostility or anything. It just looked at me for like
This is a naked sloth. This isn't even a freaking chupacabra.
Are you serious?
That's
Dude,
a naked
I
sloth.
swear that's what it looked like.
No. This is what I think is supposed to be a chupacabra.
Yeah,
Let me
like
see.
that's the one. That's the picture you showed me.
Yeah. Does it look like that?
Dude, that's like spot image. No, that's not it. That's just a picture of like an error.
Oh.
Yeah, that's a picture you
Oh
showed
my
me. Like an
gosh.
error.
It keeps popping up as an error. Okay, how about this?
Kind of. That one looks a little bit more mangy, but it looks similar to that.
How about that?
Kind of, yeah. It just
How
looks.
about that? This is scaring me.
Dude, I mean those
There's no-
are like mangy looking. I mean this one. I mean it didn't
About
look
this?
like. I do remember it had really long back legs. I do remember thinking it had like freakishly long back legs.
Is it this ghoulish looking
That is
creature?
definitely not it. That I would have shit myself on the spot had I seen that. Dude, I would have. It would have been
Was
over.
it this? This is just some dude in, I think, a Star Trek costume.
Dude. But it was weird. But I heard some rustling in the woods the next day. I can't say if it was it or not. But when I was a kid, I'd seen that the day before. I heard rustling in the woods. I was home in like 2 seconds.
So it looked like this.
Pretty similar, yeah.
Okay, I'll try and use this if we do a video.
I mean, that's a better example. I mean, the other ones, like kind of, but I mean, he looked at me and it looked like he had some like, not like I don't want to say spots, but you know how like you'll have some like discoloration on some animals, like where it's like a little bit like some of the spots are a little bit darker.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like that, but it wasn't like crazy.
Hmm.
But I remember I heard someone say something like they got it tested and it's like a cross between like a wolf and a coyote or something.
That's crazy, dude.
And it was just like the genes didn't mix or something, and it just made this weird thing.
Wow.
But that's what it was.
Some brave coyote boned a wolf, or some poor coyote got boned
By a wolf.
I don't
So-
even want to know the anatomy of that.
And then somewhere along the lines, the mutilated offspring found each other and
And then they started
mutilating
boning.
offspring.
I'm trying to think if anything like that has ever happened to me. Like anything either super like creepy like that or.
I honestly have some pretty scary stories.
Well, maybe we should do like a whole podcast about the scary stories.
We really could. I mean,
I'll try and think of some scary stories that have happened to me.
Well, by the time we take stuff that we cut out and stuff, we might be able to fill some stuff. Because I mean, there's been a lot of stuff we've come to that we say like, oh, we'll say this for another podcast. Are we really going to remember to say this in another podcast?
Yeah, because we'll listen to this.
Yeah, but are we really going to remember?
Okay. Before we get into scary story territory, that rhymed. Let's talk about our first YouTube video. The first
YouTube video
we
ever watched.
We ever watched on YouTube. I know exactly what mine was.
Mine was probably. Do you remember when Fred was a thing?
Yes. Oh, absolutely.
I remember watching Fred.
You just remember watching Fred?
I just remember watching Fred. Now, that's the first YouTube video. I remember my dad watching something when I was a kid, and I had completely forgotten. You were in the car with me the other day.
Uh-huh.
I had completely forgotten about it. Like, it had completely was out of my memory until I heard it. It was this, like, pre-YouTube thing called Stupid Videos.
Stupid Videos.
Yeah, Stupid Videos. I had not heard that since I was, like, younger than 6.
Huh.
Had to be, like, younger than 6. Because I remember my dad would watch stuff on it all the time. And I remember some of it was, like messed up stuff, too.
Oh, yeah.
Like, stuff
back then,
4 to 6 year olds should not watch.
Back then, it was, like the internet was, like, a Wild West.
Oh,
really.
It was crazy.
It was nuts. You could post anything, really. Because there was no, like, very few regulations.
There's no moderators to keep up with what people were posting.
My first and second. My first YouTube video that I ever watched, my cousin, he showed me the Thriller music video, Michael Jackson's Thriller. And I thought it was the most amazing thing I'd ever seen in my life.
You're like, whoa.
Like, still to this day, I feel nostalgia when I see that video. I'm just like, man, this is a freaking good video.
YouTube, up until I was probably, dare I say, 12? Oh, no, definitely not 12. Like 14. But more so until I was about 12. Everything I watched was, like, watched very closely by my mother.
Mm-hmm.
My dad probably really wouldn't care, but my mother, like, was, like, a hawk. She would keep up with what you watched, and then it got very relaxed after that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when I was about 14 or 15 was when I learned how to, like, hide it.
Right.
I mean, it wasn't like bad stuff. But
Right.
It was, like,
yeah.
It was stuff
like,
that she wouldn't
like
have liked.
Smosh, that kind of thing.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like I remember like watching them thinking like,
somewhat
I could get
edgy,
so much
somewhat
trouble.
edgy humor.
Or like
yeah.
Syndicate, when Syndicate first.
Syndicate.
Do you remember the Syndicate project on? He still has a channel. He still posts stuff all the time.
I don't remember that.
I would watch his stuff, and I remember my mom. I was like, oh, my mom would hate it if she knew I was watching this guy. Watch it now; it's no big deal.
Yeah, I watch like Yogg's Cast, which they frequently used bad language.
Oh yeah, this guy would use it too.
Sea Nanners, just all sorts of stuff like that.
I never really watched Sea Nanners.
I was in a Sea Nanners video once. It's my claim to fame.
You were.
I was in a Trouble in Terrorist Town Sea Nanners video.
How'd you pull that off?
I don't know. He was in the same server as me, I guess, because I used to play the crap out of Trouble in Terrorist Town.
And he just happened to get in?
He offered me what he called a Coca-Cola soda, shot me in the face, and then I shot him back, and that's it.
And that's all that happened?
That was the clip. But I remember my friend David, he like texted me. He was like, "Dude, are you Murdoch on Steam?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "You're in a Sea Nanners video."
And then so, like, did people find you on Steam, like send you friend requests?
No, of course not.
They just didn't care.
Like, literally, it just like showed my name a little bit. I don't even know how he caught it.
Hold on, what did you say it was called?
Sea Nanners?
Like, I know it's Sea Nanners, but like the name.
I can't find the video. Like to this day, I cannot find the video. That guy posts so much.
Many videos. I wonder if there's like a clip.
Look at how many videos.
What did he say he was? Like he said he
offered me a Coca-Cola soda.
Sea Nanners. Coca-Cola soda.
Mm-hmm.
Soda.
This is a long shot.
It's a lot. There's nothing. I'm gonna just watch. It's a bunch of kids putting Mentos and Coke. It's nowhere near. CNNer's gaming channel. There's 1,800 videos.
Exactly. There's literally.
And this is video from like years ago too. There's no way you're finding that. Oh Jesus! Upload. Does he even still post? Honestly, because I see uploads, and the last thing I see is PUBG mobile gameplay from a year ago, and it's like 5 minutes.
I'm going from oldest videos because I'm sure oldest videos. And like it was.
It might have been so long ago. It could have been deleted.
No, because he still has stuff from like 7 years ago, like 9 years ago, that kind of thing. I'll try and find it like and show you, but like
I had someone I knew actually killed Ninja in Fortnite one time.
Wow.
But I still don't know if it's actually legit because the video he sent me was some grainy Android footage of his TV screen, and I'm like, it's kind of sketch.
Okay, I finally found
some Trouble in
Terrorist, like his first stuff. But he had been doing it for quite some time since then. I'm going to ruin my watch later.
It could take hours. That's hours of footage it would take to watch that. So long.
I even remember... Oh, it might be this one. I even remember how... Like the room that he was in, like we were in.
You remember it like in vivid detail?
Yes.
Yeah, but I would know who he is. I've seen some of his stuff, but I never like was one of the ones that like got into his stuff.
Okay, there's a good chance I might be able to find this now. Okay, so, but I wanted to say my second YouTube video I ever watched was a Jeff Dunham Ahmed the Dead Terrorist bit, like just his bit. You know Jeff Dunham, right? Puppet guy.
Yeah.
It was just Ahmed the Dead Terrorist. It was his Ahmed the Dead Terrorist like shtick. And I remember my cousin got in a lot of trouble for showing it to me.
Cause your cousin got in trouble for it?
Yeah. Because like he showed a freaking like 8 or 9 year old a Jeff Dunham sketch. Like, I mean,
how old was your cousin?
He was like 14, 15, something like that. He was old. He's quite a bit older than me.
I have something that I remember I got in trouble for. My cousin Riley, who's about, I think he's 2 years younger than me.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's like, actually right now I think he's 17, about to turn 18.
Okay.
We were young, like 10. He was 10. I was probably about 10. He's probably about 8. He got some toy. It was like a spy watch. I remember he was super proud of it. A spy watch, and it could record sound.
Oh no!
And for a 10-year-old kid, this was like
gold.
This would be like getting a gimbal for Christmas.
Right. Yeah.
Like it was amazing. So he could record it and he could like save it to his watch. And have all these recordings saved, and we're at our grandparents' house. Yeah, you could play it back. So we're at our grandparents' house outside, and my grandpa is like, he's a very conservative Baptist pastor.
Mm-hmm.
So we're outside playing with this watch, not even saying bad words, you're like saying like poop, like basically like the monkey thing was like poop funny, stinky, like stuff like that. Really just saying stuff like that. Well, our cousin Samantha, who to this day is actually probably still very much like this, was like very much against like cussing. Do not cuss. And apparently she got very offended by this and went and told on us. But she didn't say, they're saying like poop and crap and all this and fart. She said they're saying bad words into Riley's watch. So me and Riley were called in to the house where it was my mom, my aunt, and both my grandparents sitting in the living room. And they played back the watch. So we're sitting there listening to this like grainy audio recording of us just going, stinky, poop funny, and just like stuff like that. I mean, that's not what we said, but it's like stuff similar to that. I remember sitting on the couch for like 30 minutes just listening to them play it back. And I remember my mom and my aunt were playing it back. They had to get my cousin Riley to show him how to work this watch thing. And they'd be like, they try to hold a stern face, but every now and then something would happen. So you'd hear in the watch this grainy like audio file, just hear some kid go, uh-oh, or something like that. And they'd turn, and you'd see them kind of go like they're trying not to laugh, and then they get their composure, and then they'd come back. It was the most embarrassing thing ever when I was a kid. But I remember that was like
I have a similar
funny.
I have a similar
You
story.
have a similar story to that?
Okay. So back in the day, my friend David and I, same David who found me in the Scene Airness video. My friend
Right.
David and I, we played a lot of Club Penguin. A lot of Club Penguin.
I actually never got into Club Penguin.
We would be on the phone with each other because this was before we knew what Skype was.
Or Xbox live parties.
I never had an Xbox.
Oh, that's sad. But continue.
Yeah. We'd always be on the phone with each other.
David's calling. Gotta go. Dinner's ready.
That's not inaccurate for later in life. But anyway, anyone hear that plane?
Flying at midnight?
You just said the school name.
I mean, they wouldn't have known that until... They wouldn't have known that. They could have thought was just
a dude.
Was just a person.
Okay, whatever. But anyway, my friend David... So in Club Penguin, it's heavily moderated because it's a kid's game. Like what you can say is heavily filtered, heavily moderated, that kind of thing. You could say poo-poo though, P-O-O in one word, and it would show up. And you could say butter, so you could say poo-poo butter. But my friend David knew a little hack. He walked to the edge of the screen to where when you said poo-poo butter. All the people said, butt. Everyone, all they saw was poo poo butt. And then, one fateful day, my account was suspended for a week.
For saying poo poo butt.
I kid you not. I didn't know what it was for, though. It didn't tell me. It emailed my parents. I legit remember this like it was yesterday. My dad sat me down and said, "What have you been saying on Club Penguin?" I was like, just funny stuff. And he was like, so it says here on this email, you said poo-poo butt. He was like, we don't want you to say that kind of stuff. We don't want you to say
poo-poo. Poo-poo butt is off the table.
And poo-poo butt has been taken away. But
surrender the poo-poo butter.
The irony of this is that nowadays, my dad and I crack up anytime like anyone says duty or like
send your dad an audio file right now of you saying just poo poo butt at 12:15 at night.
I'm not going to do that. He's on a business trip.
Yeah, don't want to do that.
Don't want to do that. But I might tell him the story later though.
My dad actually has a better story than both of ours.
Really?
He does. It's really, really good.
We should get your dad on the podcast.
My dad would not be on the podcast.
Why not?
There's no way. He's not about that. You haven't met my dad. He's not like that. But I do know the story pretty well. I can tell it for him.
Okay.
So, when my dad was young, he grew up in that like typical like very small town, middle of nowhere type thing.
Right.
So this man grew up in the middle of Cottonport, Louisiana, that I'm pretty sure has no more population than like 500. When he was probably, I don't know, I'd say about 10. Him and his friend Butch up the road.
Wait, can anyone hear the train in the background? It's very nice, very soothing, very relaxing.
Very nice. I'd love to sleep to that train, honestly.
Dude, I sleep to that train every night. It's so nice.
I can barely hear it from my place. Sometimes I can hear it louder, but
that's sad.
Sometimes.
I love that train.
But anyway, back to good old Cottonport, Louisiana. In the middle of nowhere, in the middle of a swamp, honestly. I remember I've only been there a few times, but I do remember there's like a bayou that runs through the middle of the town.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, you know what would be funny? Him and his friend Butch. Let's call the White House. So they go to the phone book, somehow find the White House number, and call it. This is when Ronald Reagan is in office. So this is like Cold War era.
This is epic.
They call the White House. Someone answers the phone. It's probably just someone this is the White House. It's probably just someone on staff. They're like, "Hey, this is Nancy. I'm at the store and the car won't start. Can you send Ronnie to come pick me up? And just stupid stuff like that. And they call him like once or twice. And that was about it. So they went off, had a good time. They get back later that afternoon, and Butch's dad is in the kitchen. He's like, "Come here, boys." I walk over there. He's like, "Have you boys been calling the White House?" To this day, they don't know what happened, but they're pretty. And the Butch's dad is still alive. I mean, it's not like that, but to this day, they still don't know how he found out they called the White House. They don't know if someone from the White House, like the Secret Service, called him or something and was like, "Look, your kids are being stupid. You need to get a hold of them." But it was...
That's amazing.
I'm at the store. You can send Ronnie to come pick me up.
So today, we have technology.
What are you
I have a
do?
VPN, my friend. You and me?
What are you doing with this VPN?
We're going to contact the White House, and then we're just going to be able to track us.
Oh, my God. Dude, no, the White House can track that 100%.
No. I have Tunnel Bear. It's a great VPN. Okay. Message type. Contact the president. Prefix. Mrs. First name.
Are you going to just call and say, like, this is Melania. I'm at this. I'm at the runway show and the car won't start.
I got this. Okay. Prefix is doctor.
I'm stuck in Trump Tower in the car when the elevator's broken. Can you send Donnie to come get me?
It's no. It's like a text message, basically. So it's gonna be Dr. Hugh Jass. Dr. Hugh Jass, the fourth.
The fourth.
His email is Hugh. Jazz.
Humongous jazz.
Jazz@hotmail.com.
It should be lit.
His phone number is 341. Wait, that's 321. Dash 6. No, I'm just doing random numbers. United States street. Oh gosh, I gotta put like a street. Give me a random address. Get me an address for some random Walmart.
Planned Parenthood. We're about to find the nearest address for Planned Parenthood.
Planned Parenthood, boys.
They're gonna be like, all right, so we have this weird one. Search and find out how many people have. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna search nearest Planned Parenthood. My mom's gonna somehow check my
your phone
history on my phone from home, which she can do actually.
She can.
She can.
How?
She has that done through with our Verizon plan, so she could literally pull up. She could literally pull up text messages if she wanted to. She doesn't, but she has done it before. This is actually a fun story for off mic later.
Okay.
This cannot go on the podcast,
Okay.
but I will tell you the story.
That's creepy.
No, it is.
Your mom's
All right,
gonna see you checking Planned Parenthood, and she's gonna say, "Are you pregnant?"
The nearest Planned Parenthood is 5921 West 12th Street, Suite C, in Little Rock, Arkansas. 722
Hang on, West 12th Street.
West 12th Street.
Okay.
Suite C, Little Rock, Arkansas. 72204. It's the 72204 is the zip code.
Okay, this is the crucial part. What would we like to stay?
Poop funny.
No. I have a plan. Poo butter. Okay. Keep me posted with regular updates from the White House. Sure.
Why not?
Thank you for your submission. All right, we've sent a message to Donald Trump. We're gonna let you guys know if he gets
back to us.
If he gets back to us, hopefully he'll be able to guest make a phone interview for the next podcast. Well, we've been recording for quite some time. I think we're pretty good. I think we're ready to call it.
It's been a pretty good podcast.
This has been wonderful.
I was thinking we would only go about an hour. Made it over an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah. You know, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. If you tuned in. Especially if you stayed this long.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Half the audience, more than half, like 90% is gone.
Yeah. So you guys are the true turd bros. And
the true intellectuals.
And sisters. We're not going to discriminate. But yeah, we're signing off. We're very tired. Ben has to crap like a madman.
It's not as bad. A lot of it was farts.
Sometimes it subsides.
Sometimes it does go away for a little
bit.
It's
sometimes
odd. Several hours.
If I'm taking a road trip and I'm like, oh man, I gotta crap, but there's no place for like miles. Sometimes it'll just like I won't have to crap anymore.
And it's always like that. Like it's always like your stomach will just like whoop, all of a sudden it's gone, and then gas station, and you're like, yep. I could have just crapped.
Yep.
But it's not there anymore. It's weird.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you guys for enjoying this podcast.
It's been a good run.
It's been a good first podcast, I think.
New location soon.
But
possibly.
Yeah, new location soon. But for now, let's flush this load.